Welcome in, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so this one, well, it's definitely something.
Yeah.
Buckle up. We're diving into the 2024 election.
Okay.
October 20th, Pennsylvania.
I'm with you.
Former President Trump
Mm-hmm.
working at McDonald's.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, you heard that right. Not just like, grabbing a photo op with a Big Mac or anything.
Right.
CNN actually had footage of him, getting trained on the fry station. Seriously.
Wow. That's quite the visual. I mean, you've got Donald Trump, a man who practically embodies, well, suits, skyscrapers,
Yeah.
standing there in a McDonald's kitchen, wearing the apron and everything. It's surreal. And that red tie still peeking out.
Yeah.
You just can't make this stuff up.
No, you really can't. And, I mean, it wasn't just the fries either. Apparently, he even took a turn at the drive-thru.
No way.
Yeah, handing out orders like it's just another Tuesday afternoon.
That's a lot to unpack.
Right. Like, everyone's thinking it. Why? Why is a former president a billionaire flipping burgers in Pennsylvania?
So here's where it gets interesting. This actually goes back to a claim Trump's been making about Kamala Harris. He's been saying, and it's important to remember there's no real proof of this, but he's been saying that she lied about having a summer job at McDonald's in college.
So it's a classic he said, she said, each trying to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Trump's definitely trying to paint Harris as untrustworthy with this.
And this whole thing with the McDonald's, it gets even weirder when you remember what happened the day before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Trump was in Pennsylvania for a campaign rally, right?
Right.
And he spent a good chunk of time just talking about Arnold Palmer.
A golfer.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess Pennsylvania loves Arnold Palmer, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but
Tree.
not really. He wasn't even, talking about his golf game or anything. It was just strange. It's what's the strategy here? Is this good campaigning, or are we all just living in some kind of political cartoon?
Well, that's the thing, right? It is comical, but it also kind of makes you think, right? About authenticity and all this.
Absolutely. It's not about the burgers and fries, is it?
It's about relatability.
Yeah.
How are politicians trying to connect with voters these days?
Exactly. And honestly, this whole thing, it feels like this weird trend in politics now, Politicians trying so hard to stage these relatable moments, but they just end up exaggerated and kind of fake.
Totally. And then you have people I think it was on MSNBC, Alex Witt, she was saying, what is the logic? It just seems so bizarre.
And yet it worked, didn't it? I mean, everyone's talking about it.
It's true. You can't deny he knows how to get attention.
That's the thing about politics. These tactics, they've always been around, haven't they? The staged events, the photo op.
Oh, for sure. Kissing babies, visiting factories, it's classic.
Yeah. But it feels different now. People are more cynical, more skeptical.
Yeah, for sure. It's we're all in on the joke, but we're still watching it play out.
We're fascinated, aren't we, by this weird mix of politics and entertainment. And honestly, this whole thing, it makes you wonder, what does authenticity even mean anymore in this age of social media and everything being, curated?
Right. Is anyone really showing their true selves anymore?
Yeah. And especially in politics, how can you tell what's real?
And it's even wilder when you remember,
yeah,
this is Trump. This is a guy who inherited his wealth. His first job was literally through family connections.
Yeah. And now he's out here flipping burgers.
Trying to connect with working class voters. It's just ironic.
It is. And it's not just seeing him work the fryer either. Remember that quote when he was at that McDonald's in Ohio?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, what was it? Something like...
He told the staff, I know this menu better than you do.
Oh, yeah. And who could forget that order at the football game?
The Filet-O-Fish.
2 of them. It's
yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, hey, if I had billions, I'd probably eat whatever I want, too.
Right. But it just adds to this whole performance, doesn't it?
Exactly. It just feels so calculated.
And that's what's worrying, isn't it? Is this harmless fun or...
Or is this eroding public trust even more?
Yeah.
If a politician can just create an image so easily.
What does that say about everything else they're promising?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do we even process information like this anymore?
I know, right? It's overwhelming.
Totally. There's just so much coming at us from all sides all the time. And it's easy to get, sucked into the spectacle, especially with politics,
It's like a reality show that never ends.
Exactly. And we're all glued to the screen waiting for the next crazy thing to happen. But are we really getting the full story?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we stay informed? How do we stay engaged without getting lost in all the noise?
It's tough. Man, I feel like I'm constantly questioning everything. and everyone.
I think that's a good thing, though, being skeptical, I mean.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to do here, right, with these deep dives.
Yeah. Like, we take these moments, these events, even the ones that seem totally out there, and we try to dig a little deeper.
Right. We try to figure out, like, what's really going on here?
Exactly. What are the motivations? What are the strategies at play?
And hopefully, maybe we learn a little something along the way about ourselves, and of the world.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up here, I mean, it's hard to forget that image, right? Former President Trump flipping burgers in Pennsylvania.
It's definitely one for the history books.
Yeah. But it's more than just a funny photo op, isn't it?
Right. It's a reflection of something bigger, something about our political landscape, about the role of spectacle, of authenticity in this whole social media age.
It makes you think, which is always a good thing, I guess.
Definitely.
Well, on that note, folks, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time for more. Well, who knows what we'll be diving into next. Until then.